101, and this is an update on Alfred. We're starting to get some paint on the base. I decided to go with the base first. We've got Alfred and everything painted, well primed, with Duplicolor primer sealer, and I went ahead with these arms. We're going to go with them arms because of, well, you'll find out in the final, but this is the arms I chose. The other arms I put away. These I decided to go ahead and glue on with model glue because they were too heavy for the 560 to hold, because the fits was really loose on the fit. So I just put 4 dots on each arm of glue and put them on that way. So if somebody wants to take them off down the road, they won't have an issue taking the arms off without busting everything up. I'm not going to take them off. I'm not going to play with it, so I wasn't worried about the different arms. So he's all primered. The base was all primered. The sign was all primered. So everything was primered. And the primer sealer from Duplicolor is a lacquer primer. So, you know, it does a good job. It's my favorite primer. It's good stuff. And it comes in a red and black. I don't think it comes in white. It might. The white's pretty hard to find if it does. I know it comes in red and black and a gray. But we started working on the base here, and we're using our Color Artist Acrylics. And I never used these before. I thought I would try them out. And so far I'm liking them. The paint is real smooth and creamy. The pigment is real fine. It doesn't hide details because it's a fine pigment paint. It takes very little water to thin them down, very little. I would say they're about equivalent to the Vallejo or the Army Painter. The great thing about these is the price. This is about 80, well, it's about 83 cents a tube. And this is what, 12 milliliters versus what, $5 for a bottle of Vallejo. And I think Army Painter is about the same price. So these are priced a little bit more economically if you're on a budget. And I'm definitely going to use these for painting miniatures, because I could see why guys use these for their miniatures. Because of the thinness of the paint, they won't hide any details. On something this size, it's not that big of a deal. But we've got the sign painted black using the Color, what is it, lamp black? Yeah, lamp black. And just used very little bit of water, and it went on smooth. Kind of has a satin sheen to it. And then when we got the sign painted, we took a raw sienna, painted that on the floorboards, and then we let it dry. And then we, I would say it's like a wash of raw umber over that to give the floor just a little bit of a red look to it. And the great thing about these paints is that, unlike craft acrylics where you have to seal each layer, this you don't have to. Once it's dry, it's dry. So this saves me the step of having to paint, seal, paint, seal, paint, seal. So it's actually kind of nice. Then our last color we're going to dry, wet wash, I'll spit it out, would be the burnt umber. And then when that's dry, we're going to wash the entire thing with the lamp black to bring out the cracks of the floorboards and the wood grain and all that other fun stuff. So I'm using one of these trays. Actually, dog food comes in these trays, but it's made out of plastic that acrylic won't stick to it. So all I gotta do is go in, wash this off, and all this will come right out. And then it dries fairly quick too, kind of like craft acrylics. It dries pretty quick. Doesn't take long for this stuff to dry. So it'll, in the end, I think it's all going to work out pretty good. So I think, well, maybe I should wait a little bit longer. I was going to do this on camera. I will let a little bit of this dry, and then we'll make a wash of the burnt umber and go over it. You can kind of see how it goes on. But so far these paints are pretty nice. Like I said, being that seems like once they dry, water doesn't affect it, because this is a wet brush and it's not affecting color, unlike craft acrylics where you can't do this because it'll reactivate the paint and you'll be painting it again, but this time with a watered down version of the color. And once this dries, it doesn't affect the doesn't affect your paint, so that's kind of cool. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll come back and put on the burnt umber wash. Okay, so this is dry. We've opened up our burnt umber. This will be the last color we use, well, last wood tone color. We got just a little bit right here. It's all we really need because we're going to add our water to thin it down. You kind of see there. And then we're going to just put it right on here. And this will really richen it up. Using our white brush. Grab a little bit more water. Pick up some of that paint. Oop, I didn't do that. This is going to give us a nice reddish hue. Almost like a mahogany kind of look to the wood. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Now we'll let that dry. And then we'll make a black wash and go over the entire floor with our lamp black wash and bring out all the wood detail, or the wood grain, and kind of enhance the spaces between the floorboards. So I think that's good right there. I think we're going to leave it just like that. Okay, we're back and we just put our black wash on, our lamp black, and I'm just going back and kind of moving it around. As long as this paint is wet, you can put it where you want it. When it dries, though, that's it. Doesn't seem to want to go anywhere after that. So, but I think I'm about there where I want it. We got a little bit more darkness around the edge to kind of give it some depth, and then we got a little bit more around the floorboard cracks to bring those out. I need to do some right down here. Bring them out a little bit. And around the sign holder here, we need to kind of give it some shadow down there. Yeah. Add a little bit more around there. There we go. And we are back, and we've got the base, I think, done. All we got to do is go back and just do the bottom here, that little lip. little riser. We'll do that in black. But I think the top half is done. We've sealed it with Tester's dull coat, the lacquer version, and it didn't affect the acrylics any, so we're good there. Dull coated the sign, which we painted the lamp black. So overall, yeah, I'm really happy with these center colors. I can see why guys are using them to paint miniatures. Being that they're thin paints, they don't cover up any kind of detailing. They're affordable. I mean, if you're on a budget, they're definitely affordable. I like them a little bit better than craft acrylics because I like the idea that once it dries, it dries. You don't have to always seal between layers. I do like that feature. So yeah, I think it's a good bargain, and I'm definitely going to be using these colors for figure painting miniatures. I have some 1/24th scale figures coming up down the road this year, so I'll definitely be using these. Artist acrylics, these colors, I'll be using them on the crew for the Constitution, and I'll also be using them on the Constitution itself for any other painting I need to do. So yeah, I really like these. Like I said, 83 cents a tube. That's much cheaper than $4.99 for a bottle of Vallejo. Not to say I don't like my Vallejo or my Army painters, because I do. You can't beat the Vallejo metallics. I love those, and can't beat the ink washes for war paint, the Army painter war paint. So it's really good stuff. So I'll always use them. It's just great stuff. But some of the other colors now will be going with Zenecolor. So yeah. So anyway, our next step now is to do his shoes and his pants here. And for that, we'll be using, I got two blues here. I got a Prussian blue and a cerulean blue. One's dark, almost like a navy. This one here is a little lighter. So, I don't know, for blue jeans, I guess we'll go with, I guess we'll go with this blue. The cerulean blue. And I think this might be a little too dark. So, but yeah, another nice thing is these tubes have a little thing inside there that you can kind of squeeze this a little bit and turn this to open up the hole. Kind of reams out the hole a little bit, plus it gets your paint on there, and you can actually see what color that you're going to actually get. So it's kind of cool. Alright guys, I think that video is going along long enough. I think we're coming along pretty good, and as I said, the Zenecolor works out well. Alright guys, until the next update, take care, we'll see you then.